everybody. Welcome back. Part two. We're gonna do part two. Alan, let's see here. If you're on WhatsApp in a way, could you text the guys to the? Well, you know what? Fuck it. There's a link probably on here. I'll see if I could drop this link somewhere to everybody else. Um, the power, the battle, the fun parts of live technology on here. So we are live, part two. So I've done a lot of talking for 20, 25 minutes solo on here. Now you're in here. So while I get this link sent out to everybody, um, why don't you fill us in on what you thought on, like, talk us through your take on the men's match, and then if you want to transition into the women here, well, I'll see if I can get some other people, send this link out to everybody to be on the lookout.
Will do. Yeah, I think the men's performance ticked all the boxes that we were looking for, and maybe even more, because we saw the return right at the end of the game of Elvis Hemmel, and I think that was a little bit of a surprise. I think there was a good indication that he may uh, have a few minutes, and he did. Given he had been in training all week, and he did travel with the team. So, but I think all the areas of concern were addressed. Backline looked really solid. We were we had a good presence in the midfield, and we're creating those good attacks on the goal. So I think that, given the concerns coming out of the last few games in terms of possible formation problems, I think those were dismissed tonight in terms of the performance that we saw. Seems like everything was firing on all cylinders. Uh, there was a changing goalkeeper for this match. Carlos Soldana was the starter, and he did a good job. It's useful for the number two goalkeeper to get competitive minutes. And I don't know if this was due to injury or a desire to change up things. No one has said, and no point in speculating until we know more. But he was did quite well in dealing with the what Rhode Island was able to do. So for a road trip, that was pretty solid, and I think we could have scored even more goals. So I, looking at where Rhode Island is, I think this gives us a good idea where we're kind of pegging at this point. And I mean, we're not like Louisville good, but we're not Rhode Island bad. So we're kind of in the middle there, and that seems about right. So successful road trip. We, and looking at the fixture list, we really we had an opportunity to score some points here, and we needed to take that opportunity. Our next game is against Charleston. That's going to be a difficult game, even though that will be at home. But
Right.
that's always going to be a difficult matchup. So now we can go into that game with a little bit of confidence, especially the back line for sure. And now I think Danny Dicchio is gonna have some decisions to make in terms of, is he gonna try to slot Elvis in as a starter next week,
Right.
or kind of bring him along more. But the moment he came in, I mean, he almost scored a goal like first touch. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like the energy level, like, just turned up two notches when he came on. It was really something to see. So that's the if we were looking for a boost from him coming in, we got that boost, and um, so that was a lot of fun. So it was a good night.
Jeremy Churchman with a good note in the live chat here saying, so we're playing some games in hand right now, because this is where some of the teams like Charleston and Louisville in particular have been playing often. Winning out our games in hand, we're in second place. So, in your mind, coming in, coming in, who did you, in your opinion, who was your man of the match? And if there was maybe a couple other people you want to single out, who would those guys be?
Mm. I'm not quite sure. I don't know that. Yeah, I thought Maxie did a good job. Uh, Certainly with the goal, and just he seemed like he was moving around with that kind of liberty that he had early in the season.
Right.
Uh, I was a little surprised to see him get subbed out, because I thought he had been doing quite well. But I think it's like I think at that point in the match, it was pretty clear that Rhode Island just you know we could get by with giving some minutes to some other players. I don't think it was a substitution for cause or for anything tactical change or anything like that. I think it was just uh, it was a good time to kind of like call it an evening for him.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think too. It's being that he put Connor in. Like last year, maybe 2 years ago, if it was a Trevor James managed side, Connor's in as an attacking sub, a like for like. With Danny, it seems like Connor is. We got the game, shore it, use your rate, defense first, offense if you can.
yeah,
That's how at
yeah,
least
for sure.
I can
He
go
was
off on that.
he was it was like we wanted to keep the score line, and I mean, Rhode Island did pick up they did have a few more attacks towards the end of that first second half. So, probably a good idea. That he read that game just right, I think.
I had mentioned in part one that I thought this was maybe the best Brent Levi's game in a while. Uh,
Mhm.
how are you feeling on that?
Yeah, it's always kind of hard to tell, in when a player like that is playing well, you don't really notice him too much. It's when the mistakes are made. That's what you really kind of notice.
Right.
So, but no, he had a good game. Uh, it's really hard to kind of point at anybody that had a poor game. I mean,
Right.
everyone was doing their jobs pretty good, I think. And and Devin was busy. Uh, he's always busy in these games, but it just seemed
Yeah.
like he was having a little bit more success in clearances. Uh, so
Mm. Fat Mob's telling me to fuck off. Apparently, uh, Levi's with the lowest level on there. Yeah, but Fat Mob's also been like, wait, he's how much? um, yeah, ratings in a way, but I'm also seeing feel like
those ratings lean heavy on like scoring opportunities and things like that.
yeah, and I'm seeing and how I think what I'm seeing is feel. Um, Set pieces, getting into the field, trying to keep the rhythm going. I think it was our best rhythm game in a while. Because I think how we lost to Pittsburgh was they get the goals, and Lily Ball takes the away for us to complete more than three passes, and we're just beaten. We're the second best team in the battles. We're the second best teams in the opportunities. Loudon's got speed, young player speed, and foul conditions, and you're no one top no each other. Phoenix was just two dead-legged teams, um, and I think that both teams canceled each other out in a half, and we're thankfully lucky that Phoenix wasn't full strength in their subs, like with Dario Schwamella. Indy beat us the way in Open. Indy beat us in Open Cup like we used to beat teams in 2022 and 2023. Sit back, make a team make a mistake, break. They had a game plan and it fucking worked. Spot on.
Right.
Louisville, I think we had a solid first half, and then we got a little too aggressive and chasey, and you can't do that to a team like Louisville, especially at Lynn. OC, I don't really have. OC was the one that bothered me, I think, on there. So to give up 11-3, to then get a clean sheet, how much will you think that carries this team ahead of Charleston next week, and then the matches moving forward?
Yeah, I think it probably will help us. Just in terms of confidence in the system. Uh, I think the worry was maybe that the players were starting to question the setup,
Mm-hmm.
and because that, oftentimes when you see those poor performances, and it seems like people are struggling to do what they've been asked to do,
Yeah.
it almost kind of points towards maybe a lack of confidence in the setup, and
Right.
I didn't detect anything like that tonight. Uh, Seemed like the plan executed and worked and achieved what it wanted to achieve. Uh, Getting 2 goals, uh, given our recent scoring, that's good.
And I think also too, I'm looking at Rhode Island, and I'm thinking with what I was talking with Matt and Ryan on our AFC Nation. Rhode Island seemed like they reverted back to a shape that they were doing earlier in the year. That while it was getting them some goals, they were also struggling defensively a bit. They went with three in the back and they did win backs. No Albert Dequa in the roster for them tonight. Not even.
Yeah,
So they went with JJ Williams, who the guys were telling me was struggling to get healthy, and he's just starting to get healthy recently. And then Prince Sadie, who we would have seen in years prior playing for Hartford Athletic.
right.
Um, so you got, and then also Holstead, Matty Ibarra, who we've also would have played while U of M grad. I think he's U of M is what Jaime was saying. Would have also been somebody that we've been used to seeing with the Riverhounds as well. Connor McGlynn, Spencer Turnbull. So I think at the end of the day, like, yeah, Rhode Island seemed to have the ball, but I'm looking now as far as like now the attack, and I think we kept them at bay essentially in the first half. And in the second half, I think after the second goal, maybe we went in, and that was where they were starting to really, really create. 16 shot. I'm looking at the USL Championship website right now. 16 shots for us compared to Rhode Island's 11. 4 on target for us to Rhode Island's 3. 7 block shots
Mm.
for us compared to 2 for Rhode Island. 8 of Rhode Island's 11 were outside of the box compared to our 5 out of 16. Shooting accuracy, Rhode Island with 27.3 to 25.0. And USL also does things like this freaking heat map, which this looks fucking, I can't tell. Is it look what is that? Y'all go to USL Championship score page to Rhode Island, Detroit City. I don't know how to describe this heat map. That might be something we could tell, or maybe that's whatever the plan is for the gang going there. I suppose
Yeah,
to kind
possession was pretty even between, it was I don't remember what the actual numbers were, but it was pretty close in terms of no one really had any domination of the possession. So
yeah, it
uh,
was Rhode Island with 54.6 to our 45.4. Um, they won Rhode Island won the duels and the aerials. We won the interceptions, and it was even on corners. But at the end of the day, it's right place, right time for Maxi and Victor. And
yep.
2 goals for Detroit City and their 3rd clean sheet in league play, which is still a weird thing to say. That's only that many clean sheets. North Carolina, April 6th, Loudoun United, May 4th, Rhode Island, June 8th. Those are the 3 clean sheets Les Rouges has in league play. 4th all year when you count in Michigan Stars on April the 16th. The women. Um, I took this one, as I kind of mentioned in the recap, decided at 2:45 to take a mental health on that one. Um, I know you went Adam Alan because I was talking with Adam and you were walking in with red and then you stopped walking with red. Which shame, I don't think red's in the chat now on there. But what was your take? 4-1 women's win, Romine banner, Weber header, give up a goal on a heavy pressure by them, then Childers, and then Hannah Crum second half free kick.
Yeah, it was a super solid performance. I mean, there was no point in that game that there was any fear of Ann Arbor really doing much. And
What's up, Red?
hey, Red. Hey, Red. So I think it kind of answered a lot of questions coming out of the Kalamazoo game. I think that was just a one-off. We returned to the form that we had been playing in the previous matches, which is high level. And
thanks, Red.
I that is my ode to Clone. So
is this from Painted, or did you go to New Dodge earlier?
I typically hit the Painted Lady. That's my go-to place.
So for those that I was telling about the reference from last year, I'm guessing it was Adam, the Majors Detroit, then just did a cap tweet. I was not me because I'm running this 13 minutes ago, a thing that says 6 points, and it's Alan Zuman gif with 6 points from last year. So yeah, so go to at TMSNX Detroit to see that, retweet it, save it for your all glory for all this stuff on here.
Classic moment in city history.
We're all the year anniversary. The year anniversary for that's this coming Friday. How fucked is that? Women though. It seems like Sophia Roman can only score bangers from outside of the box because it seems like she just every game something going top bins.
I mean, it's got to be a challenge for Dwayhe to fill out his squad list because he's got so many options.
Yeah,
up and down.
They have almost as many players as the dearly departed Gold Star FC. I think our compatriot Rod Green is still mourning somewhere while being an ISA financial analyst. That saves that for more Tunnel Talk time. Go on, Alan.
So I wasn't sure like who was going to actually play today. We do have those core players that we rely on, and but there was just a whole difference in class, between the city women in Ann Arbor. They didn't really get too many attacks on goal at all. So I was impressed. It's mind-boggling to think the season's half over already. Just it's just blasting by, and so all I can say is that you want to see this team play because this is a team that could go deep in the playoffs,
Right.
and I am concerned about the college player issue because that's something that always sandbagged us for the men when we were playing summer league, that it always came at the wrong time.
Yeah.
That we lost these players, but we also have that group of players who like came through the summer league, the winter league, that maybe they'll be available to fill in the gaps when we lose those
I think
NCAA players.
was it Adam that was mentioning it in the midweek throw-in where we've barely we've barely used the PSL today. So Gabby's been playing, and although they've been putting making goaltender moves and matches this year when it's so far out of sight, but then like Kayla, I always say it's unfair when where we're going with youth wrecking people up top with like Faith and then like Hannah Crumb's playing regularly now, but then we'll put Kayla on in the second half, and that's just like wrecking souls at that point. But I think that means Kayla plays more Bella Sabo, Fatima Nasser, those ones in particular that can get in there, and also to Claire Charlino, I think as well. Um, Tatiana Mason. There's a lot of players from that PAS outside that we can jump. They can come in at any point, and I think maybe that's the other thing too. Because one thing that I think is already established is while those ladies aren't getting as much playing time, they established a camaraderie. You might have heard if you listen back to our tunnel talks throughout the winter or the recaps we were doing. It seems like the one thing that really came out of this was how tight knit that group was. And
Yeah, and that's something that in the club videos, the women players are just constantly referencing is the way the team has come together, and for such a big pool of players, that they just they're having a really positive experience in what the club is doing, what the way he's doing, what his staff is doing,
right,
and the mix of players that are in the pool, what they're all doing collectively. So, uh, it's really something to see. We've probably for the first time been able to get some real top quality NCAA Division One players
yeah,
starter. Uh, and that's a new addition, I think, from compared to our previous W League teams and then the WPS team. Uh, that and these are very competitive players.
right.
If they're Division One starters, they want to play, and so these practices must be just off the hook. Uh,
Not only that too, you got the players under 18 and under, which
oh
is
yeah, I mean,
which
these
is
are
scary.
very hungry players who want to like make a big impression.
In your mind, to kind of close on this one part due to get ready, and kind of tease everybody for whatever content we're doing during the week, whether it's a full on tunnel talk or another live. In your opinion, right now, from what you saw today, and that is this the side that's going to be the first time we beat Midwest United next Saturday?
I think this will be our best chance to do that. In terms of what we can put up, I uh, I don't have a good sense of their team in terms. I've not seen any of their matches, so
I think Flint beat
I can't
them.
really like do a head to head comparison.
Right.
But uh, I think everyone who's going to play in that game knows that the importance of that game. So it is going to be a pivotal game in terms of where we're going to end up the season.
Yeah. So I'm telling everybody, if you're going to be going to Keyworth for game one, if you can, stay for game two. I know next week, to give a rundown on idea, I'm not sure what we're doing as far as episode stuff during the week or live. Majors Detroit, we're dropping post match recap content from today's match, and with 451, a little bit different. With me staying back here, I know with Justin, so we're gonna and Justin's presenting the atmosphere portion in the recap. We'll do the live stuff here. I'm going to be at game two of the doubleheader next week. So for the women, so we'll probably be seeing some rest of the gang covered content from game one. And we'll keep everybody in the loop on there. So at 451 Detroit on at 451 DET on Twitter. You already know that you like and subscribe to YouTube content in there. TMSN X Detroit for major stuff. Linking in 451. And Detroit City Sportscast, which will have had some good city talk. I think Adam dropped that. We had our live episode come out on Thursday, which on there. And I'm trying to think of all the other promotional stuff on there. Since Red's on here, check out Riding with Red on his YouTube. Red, drop the if you're on the chat, drop the link that they can check you out or the channel. So for content, including crashing our content from outside the new stadium. It was cool. I'll give vibes on that. But yeah, that's it. Alan, did you have any closings?
No, good vibes, men and women. So
6 points.
6 points.
So for everyone that checked out both part 1 and what became part 2, because I didn't know how to properly do part 1 to what was going to be one video. Thank y'all. Y'all are real ones. Anyone else that's checking this out live, great. Hit the like, subscribe button. 6.9 win, loser, draw city overall. Allez Les Rouges, Allez Les Or. Good night.
Peace.